Boris, good to see you, bro.
Kelly, likewise, bro. Always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for joining me today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What inspired the idea was when I first originally started writing my book, I envisioned it where I get on all sorts of clientele that come in my chair, and I get to hear the most amazing stories from every individual person. And I feel like, you know, I interview people every day, all day, every 30 minutes. So the idea came about of being able to interview the everyday people of everyday life, and just finding the ordinary, beautiful people and finding out what they're unique and special in. Because we're all special and we're all talented in something. I really appreciate you helping me put this amazing, fabulous reality TV show together. You know what I mean?
It's been a pleasure, man.
And I'm really happy that you're gonna be one of our guest stars as well on the show. You know what I mean? If not a host as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, man.
It's crazy. Like, how long have I known you now, Kelly?
I think almost 3 years now, maybe a little more.
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
How old are you now right now?
I'm 29.
29.
So it's
you're
26. I met Junior right over there at the gas station on my way to work one day.
Yeah, because you had long hair.
I had long hair. He had his long hair. Junior had his long hair. And I was like, yo, bro, who? I just moved here. I've been trying to find some of your hair, dude. Who does that? Because it looks nice. He goes, oh, I worked, like, it was right there at the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, why don't just come stop by and I'll
check me out.
Yeah, for sure.
That's exactly how it works in a sense.
Been coming here ever since.
I know, it's crazy, right?
Yep.
So what are we gonna do today?
The usual, pretty much, you know, probably like
nice
1.5. Yeah, like kind of clean up. It's been a while, so I want to take off some of the length here.
Okay.
Probably maybe a ½ inch off the top.
Okay.
And then you know how to do it with the beard.
I do, for sure.
That's why I come back, bro.
I totally agree. Totally get it.
I was in Costa Rica for a while, and I tried so many barbers out there. I mean, let alone it's like $1.50 to get, you know, a haircut, but you would hope that, yeah.
That's crazy. But what's that? Like, what $1 is like their whole days of pay, though.
Right. I mean,
so yeah.
Well, the way Costa Rica is like they provide for all the locals. You get like through the government, you get housing.
Yeah.
So they don't have to make as much to pay all their bills, right? So wages down there are a lot,
smaller,
a lot less, like by
sure.
like a whole, half or more.
True.
People make like $4 an hour kind of thing. So
that's crazy.
But it was damn near impossible to find a barber that I could trust.
A good barber.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
How about language barrier?
I actually speak pretty fluent Spanish, so
okay,
it really helped me a lot to
be able to communicate and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got a lot more experience for sure. I learned a lot of Spanish running restaurants in the States, so I had a lot of employees and all that. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what you did before production.
A whole lot of things actually, but when I was 19, I started working in just like phone marketing sales.
Yeah.
And then that led to, I hated it, so I was like, I gotta get out of here.
See, I'm the opposite. I like phone marketing sales.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm good at it, but I know how to sell though.
That's cool.
So that's kind of my...
You got a little forte with selling.
Yeah, it's just sales.
Yeah. Nice. And then I went to the restaurant industry. I found Chipotle and worked there for 7 years actually.
Okay.
Worked my way up and ran a few different at a time, and had a big run with them actually. I learned a lot about business through Chipotle, and there was a lot of key people that I looked up to in the company.
Okay.
And then when I was 23, I just felt like there was this endless ladder that I was trying to climb through the corporate world, and I ended up leaving to make a documentary, and that's how I started getting into film. It kind of just...
I saw your documentary.
Oh, you did?
I watched it.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Because I like to see how kind of talent I'm working with.
Of course, man. Yeah. So that's me and my sister and my brother-in-law traveled for 3 months and put together some stories, and it was one of those things that just kind of found me. I went on a vacation to go visit my sister, and she was studying video production with my brother-in-law.
Okay.
And he's like a master. He's been doing it for 8 years. So
nice.
During that vacation time, I just found that I was just like, my eyes were just like, whoa, like I just stoked on it, you know. So
I want to do that with you one of these days.
Yeah, man.
So we're just kind of like, you know, either get on a bus, just travel from.
Just hit the road, man. Just find some stories.
Yeah, just find stories.
That's what it's all about. Yeah.
Because in the end, it's like, especially like it's easy to find stories when you got it's like talent, like cutting hair.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And you're not just asking random people.
It's true, man.
Like, hey, can you stop for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to talk to me on camera? Like, that's kind of like I like the whole kind of like the concept of the barbershop. It's I get to like sit people in the chair,
right,
and then I get to like harass them for the next 30 minutes.
Totally.
Like, you know what I mean? And I get to ask them whatever questions I want.
Yeah.
Whether they're comfortable or uncomfortable, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I get to drive the driver's seat at that point, you know,
Totally.
and it's so much fun because you can definitely like see how people's reactions go from 0 to 100.
Totally.
You know.
Yeah.
Especially when they're in a barber chair. Oh yeah. It's the best.
Stories for days, huh?
Oh, 1000%.
That's why we're filming it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I wanted to get you on camera as well because, you know, on some of the some of the interviews that we were doing, you know, you were able to ask some questions as well, and you know, I wanted at least our viewers to know who's the person asking the questions behind the camera.
Totally.
And this is the guy right here.
This is it right here. Kokora Productions, baby.
100%.
Yeah.
So what do you usually charge for something along the lines of either, let's start with the music video.
Music video.
You know, some simple 3 minute, 4 minute.
It's $1,000 a minute per edited, you know, minute. So if it was like a 3-minute song, it'd be like $3,000 bucks. Now that's just generally speaking.
Yes.
A lot of times I say to my clients, you know, I just want to ground the vision first before we discuss the price, because sometimes videos can be simple or they might take 2 or 3 days to shoot, which turns out with a whole bunch of footage, and then, you know, it's a longer process, you know. So
think through it, look through it, watch through it.
It's a complicated question, but if someone asks me just generally, it's $1,000 for every minute of edited video.
Okay.
So.
And then now if somebody wanted to hire you on for like what we're doing, like a production, you know what I mean?
Right.
And you're filming, recording, on
Editing,
site every day kind of thing.
Right.
What does something like that run somebody?
It's a lot more expensive, to be honest, just because of the amount that goes into it. But it's really it's hard to say, you know. It just depends. Once again, it depends on the vision. But you know, if someone wanted to hire me to have like a whole series like this, I'd probably, you know, work with them on some kind of you know, package deal where it's you know, it makes sense for them, because this kind of stuff can get very expensive, you know.
Oh, I know. I've seen guys that spend up to like $50,000 on their just YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know it can get expensive. That's why I'm like, you know.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, you know, joining me on this journey.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's we talked about it, in January? We were just going to do a regular podcast. Remember? You were telling me about your book and everything. I just got back from Costa Rica, so I came in for a fresh cut, or a fab cut.
Try it.
Yeah.
And I remember you telling me, like, yo, I'm free right now. I'm available. You want to do something? Let's do it now.
Yep.
And I was like, damn, I'm not done with my book yet. And I was like, you know what? And it's kind of like how I look at opportunity. When opportunity finds you, you run with it and you take it and you grab it and you go with it.
Totally.
Like, you know, I saw this opportunity and I kind of had to change the direction of the vision in a sense.
Right.
And I went from just like having an idea of, you know, us sitting down talking to us like, you know, hands-on, me cutting your hair, having a conversation.
Right.
And just kind of made it a little bit more different. And kind of made it a little more fun.
Yeah, you had to adjust to where you were at, you know.
Exactly.
You were probably thinking podcast after the book was published, and maybe after you took a little bit of a step back from the barbershop and, you know, had a little more time, but instead you wiggled it and you brought it into the barbershop, which, you know,
I did.
It's creative, bro. It's creative.
It's like, why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what was, what I'm sure, we've talked about this obviously, but in terms of like for you, where did the idea really stem from?
So the idea, so where did the idea stem from? So with me, the idea came from like just talking to my clients all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then I watch a lot of the, reality, like the reality shows or the podcast or the interviews with certain people with guest stars, right? And I'm just like, dude, I do this every day.
Yeah.
Like all day, and it's just like the only difference is that I'm not recording my conversations, but these guys are.
Right.
And I'm just like, why not just like do it? And that's kind of like where I was at. I was just like, you know what? It's like just do it.
Yeah.
It's like go see what happens. You know what I mean? Right. It's like you never know. And I truly like I had a client one time tell me a long time ago, and this was my dad's client. He told me this is what he taught me. He was like, in today's time, content is commodity.
Yeah.
He goes, if you don't have content, you're a nobody.
Totally, man.
So, anybody that has like a camera and they can just go out and shoot something, I definitely recommend them doing it and not sitting around. Because you know what? There's an audience for anything you do out there.
100%.
Like, you know what I mean? If it's not the audience that you're looking for now, it'll be the audience that'll find you tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So don't judge yourself too harshly on what you're doing. You know what I mean? Just keep constantly creating and allow the magic to kind of happen.
Yeah, man. I mean, it took me a long time to really start releasing stuff because I practiced for 4.5 years before I actually went fully professional with video production.
No, I believe it.
For the first 2 years, I was scared to release shit, I was like, it's not good enough, I'm an artist, so.
True, 1 second. Well, I always say there's two types of artists, there's the artist that that feels like the art is never completed, and then there's the artist that looks at something and says, wow, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. It's like, how did you capture this moment?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were just being at the right place at the right time.
I'm kind of a perfectionist, and so I had to lose some of that perfectionism just to be bold enough to all right, it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's just start putting products out there, and I had to take that perfectionist part out, and really just I mean, now that I've released a whole bunch of stuff, it doesn't take as much guts to just put stuff out there. But at the beginning, it was kind of I was nervous. I was scared. I was like, what are people gonna think?
I get it. Because if you actually look at my business Instagram page, I released some personal videos. I've recorded myself before I hired you. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I remember my barbers used to make fun of me. They're like, "Bro, you're using a fucking Samsung camera." You know what I mean? Yeah, and it's just bro, it's 4K. What do you want from me?
I mean, honestly, I think that's one thing people that get into video think that they need to have a super professional camera. That's totally not. It's more about the content, It is. And later, if it really sticks,
the content sticks.
Buy yourself a nice camera and make it better. But
totally.
It's really it's about the message that you're sending and how well you're gonna put your creativity into that. So
that's very true. What kind of message do you want to send to people out there in the world?
I'm really trying to for me, video production, you can move somebody's emotions, right? You can really play with. You have for me, the editing seat is it's all about I have that control of I can make people feel a certain way with the song, the sound effects, and all the different tactics of playing with the clips and all that. It's really about helping to lift people into a new place, opening their eyes through some kind of impactful, I really like motivational stuff.
Medium,
yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, and just spreading those positive message, and I'm really good at promotional content, quick, snappy, punchy videos that grab people's attention. So I sell a lot of that stuff. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I have a vision, a long-term vision one day of traveling and finding stories of struggling communities and going into the the elder of the communities and asking them questions of like, what is it that you guys are struggling with, like, whether it's clean water or this and that and the other thing, and just like
And how can
filming
we help?
that, yeah, and then having like a charity based YouTube channel or whatever it turns into at that point, where a good 75% of everything that comes out of the channel goes into each, if I'm in India, and I film a video, then that that whatever money I make at that point, and people can donate to, and that'll go straight to the cause. But spread that message and invest, try and help the people that are struggling.
It's funny you say that. So, when COVID first started, I actually tried doing something along the lines of creating my own like foundation of a community to be able to help out people. I actually got a website called it's called the 3-Point Challenge.
Okay.
Right, and the concept was supposed to be where it's like one of those like a 3-point challenge, like like the love symbol. Like that's technically like 3-point challenge to love. Like, right, this is in sign language. This means love.
Got it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, then it's 3 points. 1, 2, 3. It's like so. Spread the love.
Right.
Give love, like give somebody love,
Yep.
and then donate to like help someone, kind of
Totally.
thing. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
being done in 3 stages.
Yeah.
In a sense, and that's kind of how I try to set it up. It didn't go good. I'm hoping one day I can like pick it back up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not everything, that's the part of being, not just an entrepreneur, but in any part of life, is you try something out, and
That's true.
sometimes it doesn't flop. You know?
You know what I mean? And my heart was in a good place when I was trying to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it didn't work out. But I'm hoping that one day I'll have a big enough platform to where I can make an impactful like that. But
Sure.
the beautiful part is, well, like people don't realize is I already created the infrastructure for it. So whenever I'm ready to do something
Right.
to help somebody, guess what? I already have something ready a platform that's going to be ready to go for it, kind of thing.
Yeah. You already built a foundation.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I look at a lot of things. It's like, when Junior and Junior were talking earlier today, he was trying to talk shit to me.
I heard that.
And I was just like, yeah, I may have failed a lot of things.
Yeah.
May have a lot of things may have not worked out, right?
Yeah, right.
But guess what? I have a lot of foundations that I've created
Yeah.
that I can re-step back on at any time that I
Right.
want to.
Right, and that knowledge that you gained is transferable into
In
every
anything,
other project. Yep.
For sure.
Yeah.
1000%.
So.
Well, that's
yeah.
kind of how I was able to pull together projects so quick because of
Yeah. Right.
I had other infrastructures. I can literally,
You've practiced it. You've built a whole lot of other things, and so
Yep.
it's just like riding a bike, man.
at this point, it is
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
How's that look?
Yeah, man, looks pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna razor you up,
Cool.
clean you up.
Thanks, bro.
So, if you had to go back, like one of the things I ask,
Sure.
if you had to go back and change one thing, what would you change?
That's a tough question, because it's like a double-edged sword. Like everything that was tough really has,
Meaning.
it
I
does,
agree.
and it's built me into a different person.
Totally.
But I think that in high school, I had a little bit of a tough time, and during high school and right after high school, I kind of gatewayed my pain and used drugs and alcohol as a crutch.
Same. I understand.
And it's like, at the same time, I've learned so much from it, so I don't want to take it away. But if I really could, I think that I would find something else to use as that crutch,
For sure. I was just telling my therapist that actually today.
Really?
I was like, she's like, I didn't think you were going to be able to come out of the hole that you put yourself in. And I was like, the only way you can get yourself out of a hole is what the hole looks like.
Totally.
I was like, if you don't know if you've never seen what a hole looks like, you'll never know that you need to get the fuck out of the hole.
It's so true.
She was like, huh, it makes sense. So she goes, you're saying you've been in that hole before, so you realize and you identify the hole, and
Right.
you said you don't want to stay there. And I was like, no, I don't. It's like when I've identified what the hole looks like and it makes me uncomfortable, why would I want to stay there?
Of course.
So it's like being almost like okay. And then honestly, one thing that I've learned through the process of finding a different kind of vice and learning how to cope with certain things is people use because they want to be comfortable with what they're uncomfortable with.
Totally.
And that's the part I had to really be I had to really dive deep to understand I was using to be okay with where I was at when I wasn't okay with where I was at.
Totally.
You know what I mean? And like diving yourself into a substance, you're just allowing yourself to be there longer when you're not happy.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So I think that if I could find something different than alcohol to rely on, social well-being, I would consider changing it.
For sure.
I know that it's happened for a reason that way, and that I'm going through this process of, releasing alcohol from my habitual being.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like I would take it back, but at the same time, I don't know, because I don't know what the other thing, it's going to be something else that's hard to exchange. I don't know what else that would be.
See, for me, it was marijuana. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I love my marijuana.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one thing I definitely do enjoy.
Totally.
Some people will agree, some people won't agree, but it's just one thing that's kind of kept me on a calm, narrow path. You know what I mean? I've definitely gotten in trouble for it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I know I've told you a little bit of my past. I got arrested with 50 pounds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which other people would probably cringe and never touch it again. But I was just like, you know what? Maybe I should stop selling it and just start using it.
Yeah.
It's
That's
a problem
good,
when you get high on your own supply.
Kind of.
That's funny.
How about you, man? If you had to change one thing, I mean, I know you said you agree with what I said, but would that be your thing too, or would you want to change something else?
Oh man, I think if I had to change one thing, it would probably be take more risks in life.
Mm.
I think there was a point in my life where, how can I say this? I didn't take as many risks as I wanted because of the fact that I didn't know any better. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And the people that were around me were too scared to take a risk for themselves, and they were kind of telling me to do the same, in a sense.
Yeah. Because
that's where they were at. And after you kind of get past that hump, you know what I mean? Of like, all right, it's just a risk. It's just an opportunity or a chance that they didn't want to take or they didn't want to do. You know what I mean? And you take it for yourself and you kind of have a different experience in it.
Sure.
And it's a different outlook.
Yeah. I think especially when we're younger, but just in general, we tend to believe what other people say a lot.
100%.
And especially when we're younger, we're like, we take a lot of people's word for it, especially our inner circles. Mm-hmm. If somebody says something, we're like, oh yeah, then that must be it. You know?
I call that blind faith.
Yeah.
You hear me say it all the time.
Yeah.
Blind faith is what I call it. That's what a lot of foreigners have, is blind faith, and especially in big family communities. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Especially where you're taught like, because like I was taught, like, I grew up in a family where, like, you have kids, right? And then they're like, you have kids, and then your grandparents will take care of the kids while you go to work, while you take care of the grandparents, while the grandparents take care of the kids.
Right.
And that was the kind of dynamic that I grew up in.
Yeah.
Like, you know
it's
what I
good
mean?
Support.
It's great support, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what happens when you're not trying to have any kids? Like, you know what I mean? So that kind of like falls off the bandwagon, and then you just like, and the family looks at you like, what's wrong with you? Why don't you have any kids? like, you know what I mean? I'm fucking 32 years old and still have no kids. And
I think that's just our generation, man. Like we're all having kids later, and there's definitely some of us that are having kids younger.
For sure.
Not quite as much, It's
I agree.
It's things are changing,
Totally.
Also, I think the world's very populated right now, so our generation, we're kind of. I think that spiritually we're just built to try and protect the planet a little bit, and 5 kids is a lot, man.
Fuck yeah, it is. You grew up in a big family?
Yeah, I have 6 siblings.
That's a huge family.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Yeah.
Were you in the middle, or?
I'm second from the top, so my sister is a month and a half older than me, so she's just over a year older than me.
Okay.
And then my youngest brother is he's in high school right now. He's a sophomore, so he's 15.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Lives in...
Everybody lives right up here, right up the street, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
In terms of kids in high school, but
Yeah.
my sister lives in Canada. My brother lives down in Gilbert. And my other sister lives in Colorado, and then my other 3 brothers are all here, still living at home.
And then you live in California.
Yep.
So I'm blessed that you're coming out here, sparing,
Yeah.
giving me some of your time. I know it's not easy coming out here all the time to do the shoot.
Yeah, bro.
So I really appreciate it.
No problem, dude. It's easy when it's, something that I really believe in and something that I really stand behind the message,
For sure. So did you think, like, when we first started shooting, did you think, like, it was going to turn out the way it did?
It evolved, it changed quite a bit. I didn't know, just like any other project that you really start, but, it's fun to be really connected with the creative side of it,
For sure.
That's why I like what I do a lot, is because I can work with, 1 or 2 other creators that are, have control of the vision, and then we get to kind of dial that in and go with it, So
yeah,
it's been fun, man. I've been enjoying the process for sure. We have, I think, like 12 episodes already put together that we're almost ready to release. So by the time people watch this, it'll already be, probably a month into the show.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping that with, like, I told you, like, the first videos I'm gonna drop. Probably want to drop yours with that first week.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Just so that we introduced all the characters, and
yeah,
since you're one of the characters, in the production.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
Be a lot of fun.
Totally.
And get you a hot towel and stuff like that.
Appreciate it, bro.
And do you see yourself doing anything different 5 years from now?
No, I really, like I said, I wanna go travel more, which is a big part of why I chose this job.
Mm-hmm.
Is because I see, it's possible to just make money and work all over the world. So, in terms of video production,
mm-hmm.
definitely different projects, but I'm sticking. I just feel this desire to be in video production for some years to come, and that could change.
Well, for sure.
But I'm just in the process of building my business right now. It's really fun, and
dude, I love startups.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so much fun, like, starting a business and then seeing where it goes, and putting people together and seeing, like, what kind of people want to work with what, and how they want to work with together and collab, and the ideas and how it shifts. It's just fucking amazing, dude.
It is, and it's fun. You just feel, I don't know, it's more empowering for certain reasons, 100%. I think, because you're behind all the results. You're really, if you go into a company and you work for a company, there's already a structure there, and there's so many different. I feel like you have such a big impact.
I do.
And I don't know. For me, it's just I feel more proud of my work.
For sure. What would you say, like, the one huge lesson that you've learned throughout the years that you can pass on to somebody else?
In terms of, like, starting my own business?
Yeah.
Discipline, bro.
Discipline?
Because there's not that structure there. It's like, and this might be different for certain people, but like. For me, having that discipline of like setting my own structure, to really get things done.
I totally agree, because honestly, like, people don't realize when you're a business owner, you don't have some, like, the difference between a business owner and an employee is that the business owner has to keep himself accountable for himself.
100%. Dude.
He doesn't have anybody else holding him accountable.
You could just chill after like 1 p.m. every day if you wanted to.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. But at the same time, like, I'm sorry to say this, but it was like, the way I look at it is like, this is why my marriage didn't work out. I want to say this, and I hate to say this on camera, but I'm going to say it anyways. But it's because you don't go into relationship. I see relationships as a business transaction. The second one feels like they don't have to do something in that relationship.
Sure.
It's like, it's no longer avoided. Like, it's no longer like a contract that could be like it's like almost like it's almost like an avoided contract because you didn't fulfill your obligation within the contract.
Sure.
In a sense.
I see what you're saying.
And I kind of look at relationships like that. You know what I mean? The second you stop putting out what you were giving in the beginning, and you start pulling back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're no longer, you're holding yourself accountable for what you put in the beginning.
Totally.
You're thinking, I already put in the work, I don't have to put in any more work. It's like, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I see where you're coming
it's
from.
like it has to be constant work. It has to be constant, like, you know.
Right.
How's that look?
Man, it looks great. Yeah, dude. Awesome.
Oh yeah. Going out tonight?
No, man. Long day.
Long
Just
day.
cruising.
Hell yeah. Well, I appreciate you joining me today
Yeah,
to
man.
shoot this video. Like always, a pleasure.
It is.
You know.
Good to see you, man.
Likewise.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Likewise. I can't wait to like see where this kind of unfolds and
Yeah,
goes
man.
to.
I'm excited to put it all together. I mean, like I said, I'm already probably 2/3 of the way through all the content that we've already pushed. So
That's crazy. I can't believe we'll put a lot of content together in
We
such
have.
a small time.
We have.
That's the crazy thing.
I know.
I'm excited.
Cool,
I'm
man.
hella excited.
Right on, bro.
Let's do it.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching Fabulous Reality, and I hope you guys stay tuned for the next episode.
What you been about? All the time we spent apart, they got me healing now. Yeah, if I think about it, I just write it down. Fuck their thoughts, man, that shit'll never